And yeah, that's um that's when I mean I canceled before that because I didn't want to waste any time. I think I canceled on like the third day or maybe fourth day because it was just a waste of time because I was like, well, I try to play it like because again I don't typically do this. I mean, it was something from the Discord that someone needed wanted me to get for them. And what was I gonna say? And I usually try to get a little bit lower than than what it's at, what the asking price of it is. Because if I was at like let's say 180 or maybe like 175, um then you could move it, have maybe a better chance of moving it. And another thing that you guys have to pay attention to, like the assignability. So it's most agents, it's they always check may not assign. That's your ability to assign it, for let's say if I was trying to make 10,000, I if this was checked, I would have to double close on it unless you work it out with the agent where let's say you find your buyer, because this never bothers me. And the way how the I guess the hack to avoid having to double close because you want to make more, you want to make, let's say you don't want to double close and make between me and the seller and then closing on it again between me and the end buyer. So to avoid having to double close and hurting your assignment fee, when you have your buyer locked up and they're willing to pay you, 5, 10, whatever the assignment fee is, you would tell the agent like, hey, look, my accountant says I have too many properties in my name or too many properties in my LLC. I'm gonna have to change it to a different. I'm gonna have to put this one in a different name LLC. Do you are we can we change it to make the agreement assignable so I could do that? And if they do that, then they'll just there'll be like an addendum saying buyer and seller or buyer agrees to some agents write it different, but it basically whatever with they'll put the verbiage in to say agreement is agreement will like be assignable or something like they'll like word it like how it's like I guess professional to where it'll be accepted and all that kind of stuff, and then the seller is signed and then the buyer would sign and then you're good. But I don't even worry. I worry about that when I have a buyer. um so you send the EMD to the title company within 3 days within 3 days, and within 7 days you're able to cancel. No, it's not what I'm saying. Like, so let's say the EMD is 3 days. Let's say you have 3 days. Let's say you have a 3 day inspection period, 3 day due diligence period. It's the same thing essentially. And you have and the agreement, let's say if this wasn't let's say if this wasn't written out to say 5, because I had to put that in there. Let's say if it said 3, then I have 3 days. I can't, it can't be due in 3 days, and I'm trying to let me see if I have it understand. And then 7 days I have the ability. No, you can't. You have to make sure you because if you do that, obviously if you're dealing with an agent, they're gonna be calling you asking for the EMD. But like let's again you have 3 days to put money down and it's day 4 and you haven't put money down, then you're liable to put the 1,500 down. If you could see that there. Um, so you want to, if you're canceling, you want to cancel on the day of when EMD is due or the day, or before EMD is due. So just remember that. And what I always like doing is when you're writing your offer to an agent, you just put, I don't know why it keeps doing that. When you're writing your offer to the agent, when you're have the name of buyer, blah blah blah, purchase price, all that kind of stuff. Like when it gets to due diligence, let's say put the diligence period on your email to the agent, 5 days, and you can put in parentheses deposit to match inspection due date or due diligence due date, so they know that they want you. Let's say if you have 5 days for your inspection, you want the deposit to match that same number. So you could do that because if you don't, then they're probably just gonna leave this blank. And let's say you put 5 days for inspection, and they just leave this blank, and that means EMD will be due in 3 days. So that defeats the purpose. So you want to make sure it's lined up correctly. Morning. Any other questions regarding I guess EMD or just agreements between that agent sent, because when you're, and again, a lot of people ask this question, like, do I have to send an agreement to an agent? You never send anything to an agent. The agent sends it to you. So if you're dealing with directly to the seller and there's no agent involved, then you would have to worry about sending, you could use one of the contracts in the Discord to send it between you and the seller. But if there's ever an agent involved, if it's ever an on market listing, then you're gonna be getting that agreement from the agent representing the seller. The only thing, and if you're, and let's say if you're dealing with an on-market property and you're, you need to get your buyer to sign an agreement between you and them so you can make, your fee, then you would put, then that's when you would have to send that agreement to the buyer saying that, blah 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 buyers is gonna pay me $5,000 for 123 Main Street. That's the only agreement that you would have to worry about, because when it's on market, agent sends that to you, and then you need to get that buyer to sign that assignment agreement, and then you would email that assignment agreement to that title company so they have it on file so they know it's going to be a wholesale deal. And then when that happens, you could also, let the title company know to split the HUD. So then the seller doesn't see that you are making money between you and the buyer. So they'll only see the front end agreement to where it's just, a transaction between you and them and not the transaction between you and the end buyer. Because then it will show up like assignment fee to Terrell for $5,000, and like they'll be like, well, what's that? They might, have an issue, have a problem with that. So you don't want to do that. All right, so let's say on day 3 or 5, I have my buyer and assign the contract to them. Does the EMD need to be paid by the end buyer same day? Yeah, you would want it paid by the same, if they're willing to move forward, if your buyer is willing to move forward, whether it's day 1, day 2, whatever situation where they want, when you send them the deal and they want the deal, you want to have them submit EMD. That's when you know that they're actually, willing to move forward. So, there's title companies that would send you the wiring instructions. And they'll, or like, let's say, I think in this case, it was like an attorney that was closing this property. So, I don't know why he chose to just write everything. He's like an older agent. So that's kind of why he wrote it out. I guess he doesn't have DocuSign or whatever. But, it was like an attorney that that they were going to be using. So like they would hold the escrow, they would close. But like typically, it's in most of the times it's with title companies, because Florida's in you could, close with a title company. There are some attorney states out there, like New York and what's another attorney state? I want to say like Connecticut might be an attorney state. I just double check on that. But yeah, I know I deal with Pennsylvania, I deal with, Florida. They're both, you could close with an attorney. I've done that before, but you could use a regular title company. But yeah, you want the title company to send you wiring instructions so then that you could forward that over to your end buyer. Let's say the EMD is 1,500, so they'll be willing to submit the 1,500 if they're willing to sign that assignment agreement with you. But yeah. You have to find a title company that is wholesale friendly. So, most of the times you want to, just be the one to provide the title company that's wholesale friendly. That's why just, ask around. You could call around like, different title companies like, hey, do you work with assignment agreements, just to make sure. And this is all um in the course. So just make sure you guys listen, you guys look at the videos that Eric's posting in there, but because he goes through, kind of A to Z on how to do this. Next thing, if you guys don't pay attention to that, if you guys yeah, Anthony, you have a question?
Not so much a question. I just got something I want to run by you whenever you're done. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. So I have a couple fields that I would like some help on analysis with.
Okay.
Post one in the chat now, and
Yeah, just put them in the chat, and then I'll take a look here.
all right. So it didn't let me copy just the address, so I put the whole listing in there. But that's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one isn't too far from me. The guy only wants 5% of asking is, my only concern is I didn't look it up 100%. This just came across me yesterday, but
Mhm.
I think it's very possible that this was a flood damage or something, because it's in a flood zone area, and we had those hurricanes, and I think that,
Yeah.
they got renovated, repaired. I don't know if long term that's going to be a solid spot, but I don't know, it's interesting to me. They did a nice job,
Yeah.
renovating.
So what exactly is your question? I don't know if I missed it or.
If it's a good deal or not, that's all.
Oh, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't even look at this because it's already renovated. I want to find something that needs a little bit of work. So let's say if it was before they renovated, then yeah, I would try to look to find somebody to, make it look as nice as this. The only thing I would really do if if this hit my desk was just look to see who flipped it. So if I know if I'm looking for deals in Port Charlotte area that if this person, I would look to see if he's like has a name and has his bought it in like let's say an LLC or has multiple properties in his name or LLC, then you would know that he's an active buyer. So that that's pretty much what I would do with this. So I would copy this address. I know if you don't have prop, I think Port Charlotte area is called Charlotte County, I believe. So you can look it up that way. But I use PropStream, so it's just it's easier for me just to see. Um, so I would copy this address, put it in there, and see if he has multiple. But I don't really look at that type of that type of home.
So not even like as a rental, like
I
if
mean,
we would get in the property for the 5% that he's asking, I mean, and you turn around and rent it, his rental rate that he wants is a little high. It's like 21 something.
yeah. So like, you could do the 1% rule. So like, let's say 1% of the purchase price. So let's say, for example, I mean, I forget what they were asking. So you would have to hope they could get at least 2,400 with this. Can you get 2,400, 2,500 in rent with this? Then you could find a buyer. Then that it makes sense for to find a buyer to just if they think about, because again, people buy homes at like different types of strategies. You could do the Bird method. You could do fix and flip. You could do so there's those Airbnb method. So I mean, if you could just focus, if you're ever thinking about rent, the renting aspect of it, from a buyer's perspective, investor's perspective, you want to make sure it's like the 1% rule. So if they're asking 249, can you get 2,400? Can you get 2,500 in rent? So like I don't know if you can or not. I would have to look and see. It'd take 2 seconds to do so. Just obviously just zoom into that neighborhood. You click on rent and see what comes up. If you're coming up getting like if you're getting an average of like 2,100, then you know that asking price is high for an investor who's playing it like the long-term route as like your long-term rental route, and you'd have to get if they're getting 2,100 in the neighborhood, then you would have to it'd have to be 210 purchase price. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I got you. Okay. That
Yeah,
makes
I
sense.
mean, I'll look and see. I mean, so all right, so this is so he look see the person who flipped this, Prather Holdings LLC. He bought it for 110. That's the hurricanes happened here around what, like I think like first week of October, I believe. So yeah, he got a good deal for it at the 110. It looks like he financed it as well. If I go to mortgage and transaction history. He got like this is like a hard, so he took a hard money loan out. You can see Kiavi Funding LLC or Funding Inc. So yeah, he took a hard money loan on this. But yeah, he bought it from the seller. Chris, the seller's name was Christopher. But yeah, if you're in it, I would look to see, like I'll immediately click on link properties. Like how many does he have? So it looks like he has 16 properties in this Prather Holdings LLC. So this is like an active buyer. Here's his mailing address, Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. But yeah, he has 16 properties in that LLC. So that he's like an active buyer. Looks like he Inglewood, Venice, Florida, Port Charlotte, Northport, Osprey. So yeah, that's a buyer that I would just make sure you get his information. You could get it from let's say by skip tracing his mailing address to get his name or I could just do this. I could do Prather Holdings LLC, copy that. To find LLCs in Florida, it's sunbiz.org. So I'm automatically go here, copy, paste, Prather Holdings LLC. I will see on Sunbiz. Again, it's different for every state. For Florida, it's sunbiz.org, where you could find like my LLC is on there, Eric's LLC is on there, but Prather Holdings LLC. I click on that. I find out his name is Michael Prather, so that he named it after his last name. So Michael W. Prather is his name. Looks like he has another address on Ola Avenue in Tampa. So you could skip trace and try to find his number, or you could try to call the agent and see if they could provide that number for you. But that's how you would find that number for that buyer. Does that help you too?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, in summary, you're basically saying to just add them to my buyers list, and then if the rent makes sense on that, if I can do something with it, just kind of make sure I run that 1% rule and then ship it out to
Yeah, if it looks as
any of
nice
my
as
other
that,
buyers
yeah.
that are looking for long term.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got you. All
because
right.
again, that's why it's good to build a big buyers list, because not every investor, plays the long game like that. If you have multiple, then it would make sense, just more passive income, you know what I mean? But if it's just
Yeah.
like if you're just more so like, flipper, you don't really have that many properties under your belt, you just kind of do like a few flips a year, like that wouldn't make sense to you, and they might pass on that. So it's always good to get some Airbnb buyers, some 1%, some people who work on the BRRRR strategy, some fix and flippers. Just get a whole mix. So when you're sending deals out, you're kind of touching everybody. Um, but yeah, so like immediately if I saw something like this, I would just try to play the 1% rule, because that does work. You can move deals at the 1% rule. It just has to make sense. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, I've been to Port Charlotte. I just don't know how much the rent kind of goes over there.
It's kind of right now. It's kind of in the air. There's some places that aren't moving the rent when they're, like I pay for where I'm at. It's like 22.75 a month, I think. So, and I'm
Yeah.
not in a fully renovated place either. Mine's like, you know, it needs work. So, but on the other side, like I see some of those really nice houses fully done up, going for like 24 to 26. But they're not renting as fast. So, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So like I'm looking right now on I guess we're like over this way. So I see a 25, 2000, 1800 um in this area. So
I would say like the median's probably like 1,800 to 2,000 at
yeah,
best.
so like it wouldn't like so this one looks pretty done up. 3-2, 1119 square feet. Yeah, it looks I mean older cabinets. Bathroom looks okay, flooring looks okay, and they're only getting. I mean, ours isn't really. I mean, ours is probably a little bit nicer, but this one's only been on the market for rent for 18 days, and they're getting and that's what they're asking, 18. So like we know, like I already like he's that's it wouldn't work. I mean, this one here 2-2, unless this has a pool, they're asking. They're never. I don't think they'll ever get this 2,500 if then it looks like this. So I don't know. But this one would be a good comp to use. This one they're asking 1965. So like I know, yeah, so you would have to be at least, 40K lower to make it like enticing for anybody to like think about purchasing it, like, holding it long term.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Oh, well, did they not get the? Sorry, I was looking on the Discord. Apparently, they're not getting the link. I put the link in here.
Something else
Oh,
has
no,
I
I
got
didn't.
another.
No, I didn't. I did not put the link in there. My bad. All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just stop share. Rookie mistake. I thought I put the link in there. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you guys got going on?
If nobody else has anything, I got one other one I'll let you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is there.
Oh, it's in the. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, I'm putting that right. this one, I actually got a hold of the landlord for this property, um, and the house needs some work. He's open to offers. I haven't really structured anything yet, but thanks for the next.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Let me just go back to sharing my screen here. All right. All right, so you said you're talking to the owner of the property, like they're like they have a tenant in there?
They do have a tenant in there, but he is open to any offers. It's not officially listed. He uses it as a buy and hold right now. So but he bought it 2000. Bought it a while ago. Hasn't
Okay.
really done any renos to it, and it needs like a full kitchen. Probably needs new floors. I know that there was like drywall cracking in the ceiling, and like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And he's pretty much wants an offer, essentially.
yeah. You just want the price of So I think
Yeah, I'll look and see. I mean, these pictures, I mean, based on I see it here, he was using a rental like company or whatever. So like he was asking, I don't know if it's still is it still 2150 he's getting in rent, same tenant, or
I think he's like right around there. I think he said he was like 22 to 23, something like that. So
okay.
that's
All right, so probably the same tenant, just raised it over the years. But anyway, those I mean, these pictures are going to be from at least January 2022, so we know that. So let's go to sold. Um, House looks pretty nice. Just just could use a few minor touches to fix up here. But let's zoom in that area there. Let's go and check out all right, so it's a 1784 square feet. So then I'll obviously go to the more tab here. I'll do like 2000, let's say 2000 and under. I want to look at the past 12 months. I want to look at like anything 2 bedrooms and up. So I'll do that. I'll hit apply. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can kind of get in that neighborhood. I forget what street we're on. We're on Belleville Avenue. Okay, so where is Belleville? Belleville Avenue is right over here. So we're somewhere right over there. And then I would go on the right side here, make sure it's high to low. So this one here is 499. It's a little bit north of where we're at. So there's that one. I don't know if it's kind of looks the same let me see, just double check. I mean, possibly, yeah. It has that same type of not really. I don't know. Maybe this one has a pool. I would have to like go on Realtor to see if this one has, oh, it's built in 2021, so I don't even want to look at that. So keep that in mind, guys. Like if it's, I don't know, let's see when we were built here. Like let's say if we were built in the 70s, like I don't want to compare a home built in the 70s to a home built. Oh, it doesn't even say one. Hold on. I mean, it looked kind of newer. It has to be like early 2000s then. Let me just go to Option and see when it was built because it doesn't say that on Zillow for some reason. Um, All right, so we were built in 2005. Yeah, so I was right, early 2000s. Um, could find this in like just all right, my bad. Yeah, my bad, guys, on the Zoom link thing. Just I don't know. Completely forgot to send that. Just posted about the link or posted about the Zoom, but just forgot to send the link. So yeah, we were built in 2005. So I definitely don't want to use this as a comp, the one at 499. You could also like, let's say, go to more. So, to not see that, you could just, let's say you don't want to look at anything, past the year, let's say 2015. So max 2015. So that would get rid of some. So, okay, we could see that. All right. So this one's 450. For similar square footage. Looks like a little bit wider, built in 2006, so a year after us. To see those pictures, that we would have to, let's say, copy this address, go to Realtor and see. So like, that's basically what you're doing. So like, just, I don't know what he pretty much wants a number. I don't know if this, has a pool, so I have to check, but yeah, I mean, this would take me like 3 minutes to do, make sure I find like, a solid ARV. Um, but, uh, but yeah, you could go about it that way. Let's say, we get the ARV of being like, let's say 425, then, you could put like, times 0.75 for like a 25% return. Home looks like it needs minor work, maybe like 30K, maybe a little bit less. And then you come up with that offer price. Or you could just do the 1%, and then, it would have to make, I don't know, again, you have to try to find it, get a number out of him. His estimate's saying pretty much 325. Can you get 3,200? Can you get close to that, or but that's how I would play that. So does that help you, Anthony, or you want me to keep going through this, or?
I was gonna say if you could give me a number to give him.
Gotcha.
But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, probably is going to be around four. Let me see this one here. This one's on the same road, so 3104, whatever, 2770. So like a little bit away from it, but it's on the same road at Bell. Oh, this is actually Bellevue Terrace. I think we're Bellevue Avenue. Okay, so never mind then. But yeah, let me check on the photos of this one. I mean, with the one that I just pulled up, I mean, it just doesn't really look that nice. I mean, it looks okay. Decent, no pool. That was like my only concern. Like, does it have a pool? Is that why? But put up on Realtor. We have 50 photos of the property there. So you got to sort through. You can click on the actual picture, and then it would allow you to like, just kind of scroll. If not, then you just have to always click the arrow. Um, just waiting for it to load here. Sorry. All right, so we do have a pool on this one. So we're have to be lower than 320 or whatever, or 420 or whatever. I'm just trying to see what other, um, just would need newer appliances. Maybe just get rid of the carpet just to update the flooring. Decent home. See, there's a question here. There's a few questions here. Can you please? Okay, I'll do that. All right, so yeah, I mean, I would say like a low fours. I mean, this one looks really nice, and it had a pool. I mean, it was a little bit dated on the interior, but yeah, let me just go to see something here. Probably just like around like 400 evenly. 400 even. I'm trying to see. Let me see what the rent goes for around here. If we could just play it that way, because I mean, at wholesale price, for because it doesn't really need too much work, so like he's not going to get the best offer, I guess you could say. Um, so like, see, this one looks like a new construction. I can just tell by the way it's built with the roof and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Actually, no. I mean, when was this built? Show me. Looks like new construction, honestly.
Yeah, so they do the spot lots there, so they're putting up new stuff every day. So everything around there is pretty much brand new.
This one's old, 20. Like, it's tough to say, like, really. I mean, because let's say if I played the 400, or like, I'll play the 400. That brings me to 300 already. Let's say it needs, I don't know, go back to it. I mean, I mean, hopefully it still looks like this, but flooring possibly, update the cabinets, kitchen, new appliances.
Yeah, he actually sent me a bunch of like pictures and videos and stuff of it. It definitely needs like it needs to paint. It's definitely got drywall cracking throughout like most of the ceiling.
Yeah.
um,
See if he would take like, I don't know, like around like two, because what I'm getting is like around 265. That's based off like 35 and K in work. See if you would take around like 260 possibly, and see what he says. Like, I don't like saying it right off the bat. So like when I have a conversation, I was like, hey, let's say his name was Jim. Like, hey Jim, I was looking at this property, trying to get decent comps. I know it needs about like roughly 30K in work based on what you showed me with the crack and just needing new appliances, flooring, all that kind of stuff there. Um, so like I was kind of getting around like a $400,000 ARV, just plugging in the numbers for like a decent return for myself. I'm kind of getting like a little bit above 250. Like you could say the exact price. You could just kind of play. I like playing it slow, just kind of like feel him out, I guess you could say, and see what he says to that. Because I know like he pretty much put it on you to give him a number, but yeah, that's how I would play it. But I think at like 260 could probably get like maybe some of that 265. For the rent though, I doesn't look like that's, I mean, there's the 2600, and that's this one here. So maybe you might have to be a little bit lower than 260. I don't know. I mean, I this one looks nice. This one looks really done. Yeah, so I don't know. Might have to be, and this, I don't know if it's new construction or not. I mean, I put in the thing not after 2015. So I mean, maybe it's at 2015, but it looks really nice for that area. Let's see,
I
Henderson.
got my question for you, Terrell.
Oh, built in
You like
2023. So I don't know why. Yeah, so they were built 2 years ago. I don't know why it came up on my thing then. So does that help you out, Anthony? I mean, I don't know. So like you might have to be like around that 250 mark, maybe 260 you could get away with, but definitely like, mid twos.
okay, okay. Yeah, no, that helped out a lot. But I was wondering. I said I don't know what the purpose of the call was, but would you want to do a live call and see if you could help me work a little bit?
Okay.
If I can give you his number,
Yeah, hold on one second here. All right, what's the number?
uh, it's 941
Yep.
809
Mm-hmm.
3075.
Gotcha. And what's his name?
His name is Vadin, Vadin.
Vadin, Vadin. Okay.
Yep. And he speaks pretty good English.
All right, let me I'm dialing him now, so hopefully he answers so you can see this live call, see how it works. If he doesn't answer, I'll try one more time.
Yeah, you might. I know he also works as well, so I don't know. I don't know if he's off work or not.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, I'll try a second time. If it doesn't answer, I mean, I'll
Call has been forwarded.
hopefully he calls me back, and then if he calls me back, because I remember like 941. That's you get those numbers when you're like down in like Burlington, Venice, all that kind of stuff. So like I'll remember the area code. Um, so yeah, if he calls me after, I'll just let you know how it goes. If he does call me back, but yeah, calling him second time right now. And sometimes this happens, guys. So like if you're, most people, have a regular, job and all that kind of stuff. So like sometimes you have to call a second time, like later in the day or maybe on the weekend, and then you'll be able to get somebody, especially if you're cold calling. Um, you're gonna run into that a lot. So just be aware, like, maybe maybe they're not blowing you off. Maybe they're on like a Zoom meeting, maybe they're, in like an actual meeting at their job, but yeah, he didn't answer. All right, so let's move on then. All right, so let's see.
either way, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries. All right, Anthony. was something you sent, wait, the 716 Claremont Avenue? Fort Meade?
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
thank you.
No worries. Did you talk to him already, or let me actually read that. Hold on one second here.
Yeah, I talked to the agent yesterday. They had it under contract at 89 about 2 months ago, and I had to believe it was a wholesaler because they kept pushing it out, and I guess they couldn't find a buyer, so they just kept holding on to it, and it was under contract for almost 2 months.
Gotcha.
And then they finally stopped and said, okay, we'll just release it and go back into the wild. And then they dropped it to 70. And then just yesterday, overnight, she dropped it to 60.
Gotcha. You said I saw you're getting a offer at 50,000. That's what you're getting when you're running our numbers here.
Yeah, because I saw a couple of comps just in the last couple months that were 170 and 180 for the same style wood house, and they
Yeah.
were flipped. But they were bought at 49,750, and they were flipped, and they're on the market now for 180, and sold for 180.
Gotcha. So what you need, you just want me to double check your the numbers, or?
Yeah, to see if that comp comes out. If you see if that's like a close enough comp.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Let me just do that real quick. So it's a kind of like in the middle of nowhere, Fort Meade. Well, at least at least you're in a neighborhood, so so you could make, get out right here. I would go like kind of just, we're right over here. So stay, within what is South Charleston? I'll stay on the right side of that. Stay north of East Broadway Street because we're right over here. I'll look and, I'll put 1250 under that. Past 12 months, I'll get rid of the year bill. Um, I'll do 2+. Actually, might have to keep it. All right, let me let's say not bill. Say max year 2000. I know we were built in 1991 or 1901, actually 1901 wood frame house. So yeah, and if there's let's say, guys, I mean, especially for Florida, like you have wood frame and you have like blocks. So, block homes are worth more than wood frame. Just keep that in mind. So it's like a 15, I would say roughly like a 15 grand difference. If the same style house is, wood frame and you're comparing it to a block, I would not put the ARV the same. All right, so let's see. We have 239 and probably like, have to be a little bit lower. Let's see, 228. This one doesn't really look renovated. 3-1. Let's see here if it was like flipped recently. So, all right, so bought for all right, so I don't think it was anything. You said you were getting around 180. All right, so this one looks nice. This one looks like renovated. 177 wood frame. It looks like
Yes, I saw 177 and there's also 180.
Gotcha. 2-1. What are we here? We also 2-1, I believe. Yeah, 2-1-8-8-9. This is a 2-1-7. All right, so we're a little bit bigger than this one here. But yeah, it looks like it. And then I was like checking out, they bought it for 117 back in 2021. So, but I could tell, it's always nice to just go the extra step and look on Realtor. But yeah, you can see new style windows, newer roof. Looks nice. Good. Has good curb appeal. So you could just easily tell it's a flip. But I want to look at the type of finishes that, were done so you could see what the interior looks like. So I'll put that on Realtor real quick and see. So obviously we see that main picture here for the first one. But yeah, it's a small home. So yeah, I mean, probably would get a little bit, since we're a little bit bigger. I mean, we have to check the lot size too. I mean, I don't know what the lot size is. 8,400, almost 8,500. Our lot size is a little bit smaller too. So, it might be right in that 170, 170 to 180 mark. Sorry, let me go back to Realtor. Yeah, good flooring. Just waiting for all these photos to load. Our kitchen looks decent. I mean, I really don't have to go through all of this, but yeah, it looks nice. I mean, appliances could be a little bit better, I guess. You know, could get the stainless steel, but maybe get a little bit more for it, but you know, they didn't go for that. All right, so let me go back to the comps in this area. All right, so there's that one. I mean, this one is 185. It's a little bit over 1,000 square feet. Looks like, is this like oh, okay. This one doesn't even look like, why is it hashtag brochure? I don't understand what that means. Let me just click on that just to see what, if anything comes up. But I think it's definitely gonna be under 200 for sure. Just gonna pull up the things for this one. All right, no pictures on here for that house, unfortunately. Even though it doesn't, I mean, let's see. Yeah, it was on the MLS. I don't know why I guess they didn't have any pictures. Maybe they don't, I mean, there's some listings that they only post like 1 or 2 pictures. So could have been something like that. All right, this one's a 3-1, a little over 1,000 square feet. They sold it for 220. Looks like a wood frame house as well. And if you get anyone who doesn't know, to check to see if it was a wood frame house, scroll down here, or just any type of, just seeing what it was made out of or built out of. Construction, materials, wood frame. You could see that there. So it's a wood frame house. You can tell easily by looking here. But it has a carport. Looks like it was renovated. You could probably scroll down and see to the history. See they bought it for X amount, and then bought for 92,000. They bought it off market. You see here public record. So they bought it off market for 92. Put maybe let's say 60 grand into it. Then they have it sold for 220. So they pretty much got a little bit over their asking too, because they listed it at 219,950. So yeah, so something about a little bit higher. Took 4 months on the market. But yeah, they got okay. So I mean, there's this one, but we don't really look like that. I mean, so kind of just, you know, like this little, I don't know, I forget the type of design this home is called. But anyway, I would play the 180 and plug in your numbers and see. I mean, let's say 180.75 or getting 135 and work 135, and then you got to plug in the repairs. I mean, for something like this, I've dealt with homes like this size before, so this needs everything from top to bottom. So it could easily be 60K in work, could almost 70K in work. I mean, I don't. Let's plug in the 70K in work. All right, let's do 65. We'll do 65 in work.
That's what I had originally, 65.
Yeah. So sorry, I messed up the numbers here. I hate the new calculator on the iPhone. All right, so let me do it again. 180. 0.75. We'll do minus 65,000 in work. I'm getting 70,000. Let's say offer 10K fee for yourself. Then you're at 60. It's listed for 60. So try to get it. I would say maybe try to get it at 50 and move it. We know that it's sometimes for people who just joined the Zoom lit or just now starting out, but like when a lot of buyers, let's say you were to get this contract price at 60, and my numbers are getting me like at 70, whatever, but let's say I got it for 60 and I'm asking, let's say 65 or 70. A lot of buyers are not gonna like look at that. So they don't, they feel like they're not getting a deal, even though it could be a deal. They just, they don't wanna, they're not willing to pay more than what they see it currently listed for on the market. So like it helps to be lower than what that asking price is, what the listing price is. So just keep
Hey,
that
what's
in.
the minimum spread on that, Terrell? How you doing, man, by the way? It's Eddie.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie? What was your question? I missed it.
What's the minimum spread between list and the
Uh,
price?
like I don't really know. I don't really look at that honestly. I just try to. I mean, most of the deals I do are off market, so like it's not something I really deal with all the time. When I would say you would want to get like at least 15, typically at least $15,000 lower than what the list price is.
Okay, that's what I was in the same ballpark. I usually try to fit in at least one rehab of a kitchen so that way they can see like, oh, okay, well, I'm getting something out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's how I kind of play it. But like I said, guys, like for me, like I work on off markets. Like that's how the only time I do on market deals, or let's say if it's, sometimes agents reach out to me with them, but like most of the times, like people send me off market deals. Like for example, like I closed a deal back in September. It was in Clearwater, and then she just told me about her neighbor is wanting to sell. So like, that's an off market deal. His house is, I don't think is as bad as her house, but it's right by her house. That was her neighbor at the time before she moved. But yeah, I talked to him. I think it was 2 days ago. He's wanting to sell. He knows it needs a decent amount of work, not as much as her old home, but he said reach back out to him in the summer. So that's a lead I have right there.
Oh,
That's
that's
just
pretty cool. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because I'm working with couple of members, and Allie, she's like a real super hard charger, and
Mhm.
she's putting in all sorts of work. But I know I'm going to be working on houses off the MLS, and we're going to be bringing them over to you for buy numbers. But I
Yeah.
wanted to at least get those a nice decent spread from the list price, so that way you can actually take it to your buyers and be like, hey, look, I know it's in the MLS, but it's
Yeah.
attractive.
Exactly. Like I had I don't know if you missed, but I had a deal from Discord that I was Adam was his name, and I was helping him out. But I wanted to play, even though I didn't want to do this. I locked it up at ask, try to ask 205 for it, but no one was biting. I had one offer come in at like 150, but I know typically if I was at like 160, probably asking 165, I'd have been able to maybe move that. But the only reason why I locked it up at ask is because I thought I could work the agent to where because he did, like, we had a good conversation while I met him at the property, all that kind of stuff, and I thought I could drop him some more. But he said, nope, no, I'm not going to do that with the seller. We're just going to move on. We'll sign a cancellation, all that kind of stuff. So I did
Okay.
all that
Hmm.
yesterday. But
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll run some numbers first through you first, so that way we don't run into that.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Cool.
all right, awesome. All right, yeah.
What's your day look like? Is it pretty busy? I don't want to. I'm not going to take up your whole day, but I'll just shoot
Um,
you a deal or two with her.
Yeah, you could send me I mean, you have my I'll put my name in the chat again. But yeah, my
Yeah.
days I have a few calls. I have a few properties. I was driving around the neighborhood looking because I'm looking for something close to me. But I mean, I saw a few opportunities, and I put that in my Podio system. So I'm gonna make a few calls today.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, maybe this week we'll be able to lock something up together.
yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Any other questions, guys, that you guys
Cool.
got?
Thanks, man. I got a jet. Good talking to you, man. I'll take it easy.
You as well. Take care.
See you.
Let's see. Any other
So,
questions, guys?
so Terrell, on this property, the 50,000 is good, or should I get it for lower?
I think you'd still move because I mean I really think 180, maybe it's between 170 and 180, but I would try at I would try at 50, try to move it for like 55. But if you obviously the lower the better. But I mean if you want to start out with 45 and then locking it up at 45,000, then yeah, that could work more. But I think a rehab of this would cost about 65. So I like I said, I sold something that was relatively that I think it was like 790 something. I don't know. I forget what it was, but it was right around 800 square feet, and that the buyer said 60K easy. And it was a block home, but it was in St. Pete, so I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I would say 65 work is what it would be needed to fix up that type of house. Looks like the roof is shot. You have to do every little thing. Rehab, I mean, sorry, ARV is kind of, you're going to be between 170 to 180. If it looked a little bit nicer, then yeah, I could, get 200, maybe a little bit more than 200. But yeah, try 45 and then see what we could do. I wouldn't go higher than 50, honestly.
All right, yeah, because the realtor told me that they had one quote for the roof for 9,000.
Yeah, that's
So
how.
that wasn't.
Yeah, a roof of like 1,000 square feet is between like 10 to 12 grand. So like, yeah, just think about it like that.
All
So
right,
800 square feet, you're looking at like eight to 10.
all right, perfect. All right, yeah. So I'll call her back up and see if I can get this one under contract. See what she goes by.
Alrighty.
All right, appreciate that.
Yep. Any other questions, guys?
Oh, so when you didn't post the link, how did everybody else get the link if you didn't post it?
I think because I know I'm not fully like immersed with the school thing, but I think the link are in the school. like
Uh,
thing that Eric did. So that's why. But yeah, it's always the same link. I believe it's always the same link because it's the through the account that Eric has. But yeah, if you go through the school thing, then it's in there. I don't know if I'm like Eric was saying I should probably switch up my days, but like I really don't want to do Zooms like late at night like how he does. Like so like I don't know. I mean my schedule is like I always like doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 to 12, but I know like people work and all that kind of stuff. So like I'm not gonna be I know the Zooms are always kind of pretty much small for for my Zooms
but
compared to his.
you
But like
weren't
I
even on the calendar today.
yeah, no, I wasn't. I know. Cause he said I'll keep the Monday, but he really wants me to try to find like he wants me to do like two a week instead of three a week, and he wants me to pick a time, between Monday to Friday. I mean, Monday's already there, I think, but he wants me to pick a time between like Tuesday or Friday, Tuesday through Friday, like where I would do like a Zoom, like let's say at 5, like 5 to 6 or something like that. But like I really don't want to like I don't know. I rather like I want to get this out of the way early so then I could work from like from 1 to like 6 with my own stuff. That's what I want to do. But I don't know. We'll work. I don't know. I have to figure something out. But we
But why not a midnight chat with Terrell?
had midnight chat. Yeah, right. Nah, I don't know. I have to because I know I could get more. That's the thing. He just wants me to get a little bit bigger of an audience, like how he has. I think he does like a
Oh yeah.
335 or whatever. So like, I don't know. Like my schedule's like all over the place. Like I don't want to tie myself in the afternoon with all because I do like leave in the middle of the day for stuff and so I'll
Gotcha.
um. Yeah, still, yeah, and that's what I want to. Yeah, I want to keep the morning, honestly. Well, I figure it out. I don't know, but he was like, Eric's just, come on, man, you gotta just do nights. You gotta get a bigger crowd. It's like, I really don't care. I mean, it's not really, if people need me, people, would reach out to me if they, but like, I don't really want to do a, 3 to 5 or whatever, or 3 to 4. Any other questions, guys, that you guys got going on? Mm-mm. And if also too, if you guys need extra help, I do the one-on-one, so just let me know. Just reach out to me on Discord. We could do a one-on-one. I think I'll. Eric said I should raise my thing. So like I don't know. I think he said I should do like ask like $50 for a one-on-one, for like an hour, and if it's like 2 hours, then like the $100. It's up to you guys. I mean, I still provide gems through my free Zoom links for the 11 to 12. But if you guys want to reach out to me on like a Saturday or like a Friday or whatever, I'll make time for that. But I think he's gonna put it on there for like $49 a month. I don't know how much his are. I think his is a little. I don't know. I don't know the pricing of his, but I'll start. Yeah, $49, and you could do like an hour, and I'll talk to you guys and try to get some more deals, answer some more questions that you might have that you just want if you want like a more personable Zoom, we could do that something like that. But yeah, just let me know for that. Yeah. Any other last minute questions, guys? Mm-mm. No. All right. Well, let's see if
We're good.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for me. Just after this, I'm gonna get something to eat, make a few calls. Like I said, I don't really typically drive for dollars, but like whenever I'm going somewhere, then I like, I just always kind of keep head on a swivel type of thing. And just looked and it made like, yesterday I was, I think I went to Walmart yesterday and then like Walmart's like kind of like right by my house. And I just kind of went around the neighborhood again. The neighborhood before you get to my neighborhood, and I took 2 minutes and just drove slowly and just kind of like pinned like two or three houses where I thought would be good opportunities for myself. So like I plan on calling that today. So like that's what I'll do. And obviously I have like a skip trace list for my area, Bay Pines, and then another area like by my house to because I want to try to find something really close to me. So to renovate. So that's on my agenda. So just kind of cold calling, just getting those off market deals and seeing if I can make something happen. But yeah, for you guys for who don't have like PropStream or anything like that, and just now starting out, there's nothing wrong with getting on market deals. I've done a lot of on market deals but to get the best deals are off market. So you can still get some good deals. I mean, I think the biggest on market deal I got was when I was with Eric. I think it was 25,000, 20, it was either between 20 to 25. I can't exactly remember, but it was a good deal because I remember the person fell through. The I guess the buyer, wholesaler, whatever, was on market. The person fell through. So then I think we locked up for like 205, and then we ended up selling it for like 230 or something like that. But it was still pending. But I think they had it listed at like 250, I want to say. But yeah, that was I think the biggest on market deal I did was between, I think it was 25,000. But yeah, you could get some good deals like that on market. You just got to be lower than the list price, obviously. And then also, I mean, off market you'll get deals like that all the time. Just depends, I so you get some, if it's especially like a probate, you could get some big deals that way. I'm working on one right now where it's like a big chunk of change, and that's because I wish I wish I could record my calls, but like, it's an older lady. Her son passed away. Her son didn't have any kids, didn't have a spouse. So the way how it's just kind of like a tree. So the guy who passed away, his name was David. I've been dealing with Doris. Even though David had two sisters, Doris takes precedent over them because it goes if because David didn't have a spouse, he didn't have any kids, so then it would go to the parents. Let's say if his mom and dad passed, then it would go to his siblings, and he has two siblings. But the fact that of the matter is, because his mom is still living, so I don't have to go through the siblings. It'll just go directly to her. So like I have my attorney, he just filed for the death certificate. Once he gets the death certificate, and like he said 5 to 15 business days. So whenever that happens, he just did it yesterday. So, probably second week of February is when he'll get it. Then after that point, then he has to do the whole petition to make her the personal representative of David's estate. And then we go about it that way. And then that's kind of waiting until the judge of that county approves that. And then, we already have the contract with her, but it's a good deal. She doesn't care what she makes. She just wants to make sure that her son's hospital bill is paid. The liens on the house are paid. And we still gave her away like a few $1,000s so she could walk away with. But she doesn't really care about that. She just cares about getting all the expenses that her son had paid. And this is the only way that she could do it. So it's a good type of lead that I found. But yeah, you get situations like that, and you can make a good chunk of change where they don't really care about the price; they care about everything else. So, but yeah, any other questions, guys? I don't know if what I'm saying helps you or not, but I always like talking about what I got going on. So it could provide some insight for you guys. But if you need any additional help, reach out to me on Discord. This is why exactly you need to have an estate plan. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't, a lot of people don't have like a will in place. Because if you have a will in place, then obviously it will tell you who gets what. But yeah, when there's no will in place, you just kind of have to go through through the test. It starts with a T. It's like a tree, what I just explained. So like, let's say for example, if David was married, then and his wife was still living, then everything would just go through the wife. But like, since it kind of goes through that little tree thing. So David wasn't married, David didn't have any kids, so then it goes to the parents. If there's no more, if his parents aren't living, then it would go to his siblings. And then if that doesn't happen, I haven't gotten to that point. So I don't know what happens if there's absolutely no one, but
Right.
I guess
And it's funny that you guys are talking about that, because I have a call today with a lawyer to discuss a trust with me and my wife.
okay.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you're saying he's making a trust for you and your wife.
yeah, I'm just getting a consultation because
Yeah.
my wife's father is going through some illnesses right now, and we're
Yeah.
starting to see like we have to have a plan for us as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it gets a whole bunch, because then it's like a whole like I've seen it all. I mean, I've done like 6 or 7 probates. I don't know what number this. Maybe this is the 8th one. I don't know. But over the 3 years I've been doing this, but But yeah, I mean, you see, sometimes it gets some fights. Let's say there's two, someone passed away, husband and wife, whatever situation it is, and they have kids, and then the kids don't like each other. They don't want to split the proceeds 50-50. It's like, oh, you weren't there for them as much as I was. I was here in the hospital more than you, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, and then they don't want to sign anything because they don't want to split like I've dealt with that situation and I had to like pretty much dead the lead because they couldn't come to an agreement. And when you don't have people come to an agreement, if there's family drama, like you're just not gonna, it's gonna be hard to get anywhere. So like I've seen that happen a lot, but it makes it so much easier when there is a will in place. But if there's not a will in place, you can still make something happen. You just gotta work. You just gotta hope that there's no family drama, because once there's family drama, then it's gonna be hard to deal with.
Right.
So the last probate I did before this one was in September. Her dad passed. She knew she had the property. She lived like 2 hours away, but she'd never been to the property. She just knew there was something in St. Pete. Since she has no ties to St. Pete, so she just wanted to sell through me. So that's what we did. And then, I actually drove by the house yesterday because I had some time. It was a tear down. So it was like a pretty much like a half of it was like burnt down, and then it was like a wood frame house, but the buyer just knocked down everything because there's a lot of new construction in the area. So right now it's just a whole empty lot. So maybe in like a few more months, then they'll start working so you can see the actual structure. But it's a nice sized lot that it's kind of cool seeing, like, because I actually walked in that house when it was like destroyed. And it's just kind of crazy seeing it just demolished and just a whole empty, like, just dirt patch, just kind of laying the foundation essentially is what just happened when I went down yesterday. I always like going to the houses that I sell or buy me just to see how much progress they made. Um, all right. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. If you need anything, just let me know. I've been through it all. I mean, Eric's been through more. He's a lot more deals under his belt than I do. But still, like I've been through a few ups and downs. So I kind of could point you in the right direction. Whatever situation you might be having, whether it's a pre-foreclosure lead or probate lead or tired landlord lead, whatever the case may be. But yeah, have a good rest of your Wednesday. I'll be here if you need me. My next Zoom will be on Friday from 11 to 12. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Take care. Mhm.